What up, you party peoples? How's everybody doing? Welcome in. It is Boston Concessions. We are the SSBN podcast, kicking it off. We are a day late. Why? My internet just decides to be complete crumb bomb. During the day, it works. It's fine. I swear to God, if I did a morning show, I'd be baffled with like 15,000 people over. And the worst part about it is I probably have better internet and you guys can see everything. It's crazy though for like what I'm looking at and what I'm doing. And of course the tablet I wanted is like right over there. Damn it. All right, we might have to improvise just a little bit. Throw back to a moniker. Hopefully everybody's doing really well and you're enjoying your days. Tell you how off base I am right now. Holy crap. All right. So we're going to get into like a couple different things. There's going to be like really an abundance of juicy stuff we're going to be talking about tonight. One of the things, of course, the Boston Bruins, what the hell? But we've said that for like weeks on end. What else do we got? We've got the GR8 Chase. That's right, too. Alex Ovechkin trying to chase history, at least to the great one's demeanor. We've got a little pop with that. The Red Sox slapping away, going ham, dongs all around for everybody. Does it mean new life? Does it give a former third baseman a little bit more gusto to where people can get off his back? And of course, the Patriots popped up a doozy today. Well, we'll be getting right into it. So let's begin. I gotta get like a better intro to like the next stage over. At one point I'll do that. And remember, we're small, we're young, we're everything in between. But that's not saying for the I saw this photo. This was great. And yes, the Bruins have completely derailed. What does that mean for everything going on? Well, it means the Bruins are not making the playoffs. High and mighty, stacks of gold, everything in between. Hey, we've got like a wild ride. Well, Mr. Toad's wild ride ain't servicing the Bruins anytime soon because they are off. And I mean off the reservation, heading right down that gully, and who knows where they're landing. Because at the current moment, they are out of the playoffs. And does anybody really care? I know we like to save the Bruins for last because I am going to do the Facebook moniker. I do have to like pull up you have to pull up Facebook because I want to find those. I enjoyed the segment from when I did 12-5. It was great. One of the things, of course, I did. I read people's captions to what they said after the game. Now, first off, their 10th straight loss comes to the Habs. You're kidding me. You mean to tell me that the newest loss is to the Habs? 4-1 is your final. There it is. Everybody reap, show benefits. And there's 246 angries, 471 laughing, 323 think it's fantastic. What do I think? Put it in the garbage. Let the disposal eat it up and call it a day. It's horrible to the fact that like they call this a hockey team. And to the fact that like I also root for this hockey team. Wow. This person throws in the bench. This is what I love about looking at these. You ready? So many great things happened during the game, but all you simpletons were so focused on goals, only that you missed the best parts. Multiple excellent saves, great hits, great blocking, takeaways, passes. It was entertaining to watch. This team has the talent and the drive. They just don't have NHL level experience. That takes time. Bruins. I love at the end of this. It's like a full-blown ad. Like, let's take it out and talk about the Bruins right now. It had action. It had suspense. It had drama. It had, like, multiple great saves, which, yes, Jeremy Swayman made an abundance of great saves. Okay? He was known for what he was doing. Still let up 4 goals. People are going to still cry about that. And this person brings a monumental point. You're looking at one thing. You already know the Bruins are gone. You already know they lost. Doesn't matter if they have 1, 2, 5, 7, or 9 for games left over. Their season's over. So who cares if they win? Who cares if they lose? They go out, they make like some rickety like games. They have a little fun. And they'll still probably lose by 1, 2, 5, 9. Who cares? In this case, it was 3. But this person made a great point. Multiple excellent saves. Great hits. Cool. Great blocking. There were some takeaways. There were passes. An NHL game has passes. Hate to break it to you, but they do pass. But they had the point. The game was entertaining to watch. So to this person, even though they lost 4-1, the game was entertaining. And then you get nugget bags like this. Yeah, because scoring and winning are all that's important. It's one thing they're having to lose over and over and over and over, but they've been getting blown out in the reg. See, here's the part I don't get, because I'll read the rest. 2 period breaks were awesome. They're in the running for a participation trophy. Bruins have lost 10 straight. Cooper, Captain Obvious. Great things don't matter if you don't get the W. Goals and defense are what wins cups. They don't have either. Trash? Are you kidding? What are you smoking? The new players of the trade have no talent. You ate too many gummies. Take your meds. I bet you have a lot of participation trophies. Fire the person who made the comment and Sweeney. This comment is literally laughable. They now lost 10 in a row and are simply not good enough to compete at the NHL level. This team does not have the talent to compete this year or next year. Sweeney and Cam dismantled the team and got literally nothing in return. This was far from an entertaining game. This was an embarrassment. Maybe you need to understand hockey more. Maybe this person needs to take a step back and understand that the game is supposed to be enjoyable. Making comments like that are what make it unenjoyable. This person sat here saying they enjoyed the game because they took positives out of what the Bruins were doing. Yes, they lost. This is the part that actually divides real Bruins fans versus hot and sweaty and bothersome couch GMs or otherwise. They think that winning is everything. They think to the fact that development doesn't take a place in anything. You should win while you're developing. These are also people that believe that when you play a season and you know it's over, you're playing just because you're meant to cover up those games. Now, whether you win, whether you lose, great. But can you show something positive out of it? This person pulled those positives. And everybody just knocked them down. Why do I bring it up now? Because when I'm looking at it, I'm actually the same way. Okay. Am I one to like probably make a comment on this? Yeah. And what would I actually say? I would tell the person who did this, you know something? You're right. You know you're not winning. You know you're not playoff bound. Okay? You know to the fact that this right here, this is your future. And a person didn't watch the game because they knew something was winning. They watched it because it's hockey. And they get ridiculed. This is the part I hate about Boston sports. This is my proof right here. When people sit and make comments like they own the team, like they have a stake in them winning, like it matters if to the fact, like they think to the fact that like, oh, hey, we won a championship. I'm going to party with the Jacobs. Hey, yo, hey. No, dude, you ain't partying with nobody. You're looking slob, you're looking sloppy, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. You think to the fact that somebody's going to care because what? You did a lot for a team that made the championships? Let's put it this way. I know somebody who worked for the Golden Knights. They were part of the media team. They did a lot of stuff. They went on to like actually go to the White House. They have pictures of the president. They have a lot of things that are basically going on. You know the cool thing I thought about that? This person can actually sit here, go into a chat, and say, you know something? I did this when I worked here. There's nothing wrong with it. What it comes down to, though, is these people are making those comments like that's going to happen to them. Like, hey, I'm a couch warrior. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to couch better than anybody in the Bruins. But then I'm going to go and I'm going to go to the White House and we're going to party once they win. No, you're not. You're going to sit. I'm going to do this Boston style just because I feel like it. You're going to go and sit there on your couch in your parlor and you're not going to have a care in the world. You're going to think to the fact that you're great in substance because why? Oh, they won. Truthfully, 2 hours before you sit on your couch, you're going to go to the packy, you're going to grab your beer, you're going to sit down, okay, shoot your whiskey, okay, yell at somebody because they're playing on your lawn, and you're not going to care because you're not going to be there. Stop with the crap. Like, seriously, stop with the crap. That is blatant, laughable, and everything in between. So what? The person enjoyed the game. What would you have you ever had somebody they spend what $250, $300 or they're giving tickets or something like that, and they go to a Bruins game. They buy their snacks, they buy everything they do, and they go down to the seats. And what are they doing? They're having fun. They're watching the game. They're watching everything go on. They're having their beers. They're kicking back nachos. They're having their hot dogs. They're guzzling down the peanuts. I did not say what everybody thought. Don't go there. This is not the inappropriate show. That was episode 13. Go back and watch. Okay. Bottom line of this, think about that for a minute. You'll always, at the water cooler, hey, Bob, went to the game last night. Oh, man, did we have a great time? Yeah, the Bruins lost. So, yeah, I know, they sucked. They lost by like 3. It was really, really bumming, but there was some really good stuff. Man, the nacho plate they got there now. Oh, boys, it's great. Okay, couple expensive beers, but we went in a little loaded before the game and everything. Like we made good for what it was. How many have had that conversation? Sitting at the water cooler. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? I'm gonna go off topic because like I'm already having like my brain going to swizzle right now. One of the things that like I've really, really catered to hating is the keyboard warriors and everything in between that actually think, hey, my team either has to win or I'm not rooting for them, or I'm done with this team. How many times have I actually seen a really good season, made the playoffs with the Red Sox, and have had to type on Facebook, have had to type somewhere else? You know something? The boys gave their grit. They had some really good games. They just didn't have it this year. But you know something? Next year is another thing to look forward to. I can be mad in the moment for somebody who botches a play. I could be mad in the moment who someone who plays Fortnite instead of actually focusing on their pitching game. I could be mad at bad plays. Again, it's in the moment. But what am I supposed to do? I don't pay these guys. I don't pay anybody. Like, here's the point I make. I pay to sit at a game and have an experience. Now, whether they win, whether they lose, I had an experience. I saw the Ice Girls. I had some beer. Kicked back. Got one of those long strip like pizzas. I went out. And where'd I go? Went to the hockey game. How'd I feel? Felt good. Now, whether it's just me going, I went with company. I had my friend come in and they came with me. Like, listen, either which way, you have a ball when you go to a hockey game. And like you people actually ripped this person up. I was dead set on reading these freaking comments, and now I've got to stop because this person enjoyed every minute of the game. And what did everybody do? Basically, every comment flipped the person off. Wow. Ten in a row, fire up the duck boats, only 6 more games to loss. Can't even spell it right. It's to loss. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't win the rest of the season. Well, that'd be 16 straight losses. Was hoping for a win just to keep Montreal out of the playoffs. So much for that. First time we've lost in regulation on our arch nemesis in over 5 years. Sweeney made this team so cringe to 10 straight losses. Everyone must be fired. Boy, management killed this team. I know Marchand has been sleeping real good lately. The Buck has to stop with Sweeney and Cam with the decisions they have made this season. The team is embarrassing to what we have. Please do not let Sweeney or Cam near the draft or free agent time. 10 in a row, just wow. Can't fall through the bottom. This team is awful, shameful. Even my friends in Montreal can't recognize our Bruins team. Bravo, Sweeney, for this collapse. One more. So close. I thought by not shooting on goal in the second was a great tactic. Oh, Shannon, like this one's got like a little bit of like a kick. What part of tanking or rebuilding are people not understanding? The same shock and disgust every game. Move past it. We'll be back to fight again next season. What if you're not? Now, I'll tell people this because this is my own personal aspect. I love Cam Neely. Met the man 17 times. He's probably been one of my favorite players since I was a kid. Okay. I've followed the career of Neely. I went to his inauguration for him to like have his number retired. Okay. I'm all number 8. Does this have his handiwork? No. This has the handiwork of someone else getting involved and someone else getting into play, saying they know the difference, they know the ordeal. Could it be the Jacobs? Maybe. Could it also be Sweeney? I've made the comment to the fact that I don't like how Sweeney has involved certain things that go on into the makeup of everything that happens. I haven't liked it. I haven't cared for it. I don't like his presentations. I don't like the way he actually does his press conferences. I don't like how he talks about other members of the team. I don't like his demeanor is what basically has me cringe. And when it has me cringe, it's a little bit far-fetched of a table to like even focus on. Because for me, I'm not seeing the value that is in Don Sweeney. Now, Cam has been there for the championship. He's been there for the multiple years of like putting together things. He's been there for like looking after teams. He's basically been all in every single year, growing what he can. And not everybody is going to have that magical win season. People need to understand that. You're not always going to make it far. Sometimes you take steps back. Sometimes you take steps forward. Playing somebody like Florida was not taking steps forward. You were taking steps backwards. And making certain things where it's like, hey, I got a draft pick. And this guy. Cool. You needed the guy. Can you tell us how? Well, we got the draft pick, though. Great. What are you doing with it? To me, things like that, like basically scream problematic. Like when you looked at Danny Ainge and the Celtics, I want this draft pick. I want this draft pick because I have an idea looking at this player, this player, this player. Sweeney, I think, like doesn't constitute like what that means, and I think he's looking at players, but he's not sure, trying to like fit in. Are they going to work in the system? Are they going to make a big deal? Are they going to be everything that you need them to be, and then and more? And is it going to be able to work for you? Because if he can't answer those questions and it doesn't work, why do it? Why get a player that's probably going to be horrible for the year just so you can get a draft pick out of it? And the draft pick isn't any better than the player that you picked up. If you're going for fourth line guys, great. To get like a second round pick, cool. What are you going to do with him? Where's he going to play? Where's he making his mark? Where's he dropping his bones? Sweeney, you have all the options in order to pick up these guys. Do they work? Do they play Bruins hockey? Do they fit the system that is going on that you had with Cassidy, then you had with Montgomery? Now with Montgomery gone, what does it mean in that angle? Because I'll tell you right now, Monty's off to the playoff land. Monty's had multiple times of basically taking advantage, getting the wins with St. Louis, being everything he needs to. Where's Sacco right now? He looks like Sacco stuck in Mankind's Johnson. He's not holding the team well. Have you heard the man talk after games? How does he run the bench? I'm not meaning to mock the guy. But when you can't carry something properly, how do you make do with it? I can't do it. The fans I'm reading off of can't do it. Looking at this, like as I'm sure, if there was a cup for worst GM team, it would be the Boston Bruins. I don't know how Sweeney sleeps at night because it's outrageous how we just removed our playoff hopes in one day. Keep on losing and hopefully land the first round pick. Whoever we draft will be the next McDavid or just fall down like a mountain goat. Get your draft pick. Get your star stud. Get the guy who's going to come in here. Do I have faith that Sweeney is going to draft the next David Pastrnak? No. Do I have faith he's going to draft the next Brad Marchand? No. Am I holding every ounce of anything I'm looking at that he is going to draft the next Patrice Bergeron? No. I have not had that faith in Don Sweeney. I have never had that faith in Don Sweeney. I still to this day do not have that faith in Don Sweeney to make those type of drafts. Now, if somebody comes in and they're learning and they're going to be doing it, maybe that might bring like a little bit more of an outside source, Zdeno Chara, which I welcome. But do you take his role versus Sweeney's role a little bit more serious? I'd rather Zdeno Chara do the drafts because if he's going to know anybody, he's going to know players. He's going to know what it means in order to read things. And Sweeney did it great when he went to Harvard. You know, he was coaching the team. He was doing everything he was doing. Yeah, he was a player. He understood the lines. He understood the assignments. And then he went to the college bracket and he was understanding a little bit more. But where is he now? Because a lot of fans, when I'm reading a lot of this stuff, his head's so far up his ass, you don't know where he ends and begins. He's sitting there waiting for the first round pick with his head stuffed up his rear end. But to be frank, he's off at the 5th round pick, waiting to pick up some guy that's basically going to be pushing pucks. I feel bad for Monty because he had a good thing going with the Bruins. He could have signed a long-term deal, stuck it out, been the coach that they needed, fix the problems, which basically would have been either Sweeney or Neely getting off their hind ass and holding people accountable. I don't care if Pasta has got 35 plus goals with anything in between. Dude, if you're not hustling, if you're not getting people in charge and you're not holding them to it, dude, go out and score 80 goals. I'm not going to care. Marchand, you've got the C on. Okay? You're doing all this stuff. You're carrying yourself like a wonder child. I never wanted that C on you in the first place. And you showed to me why it shouldn't have been on you. It was weak. I understand you're now with Florida. Congratulations. Hopefully you win a cup and you do something to where you could be a 2-time winner of a Stanley Cup championship. You weren't a captain here. Pastrnak is not a captain here. McAvoy, I still don't see him as a captain here. These are your assistants. These are guys that you take in 15 seconds of fame, and that's it. The minute Patrice Bergeron said his retirements, walked out the door, hung up the skates, and put the sweater away, they went your captain. Patrice was always waiting in the wings to take the captaincy. The problem was Zdeno Chara was the one who carried it as best he could. And the point of it is that once he gave it up, Patrice would take it. But where did you have anybody after that? I love the fact that stats continue to rise. Patrice Bergeron didn't have the type of stats that make people go ooh and ah. If you had asked me if I'm picking a center out of Sidney Crosby or Patrice Bergeron, do you know a lot of the league says Patrice Bergeron because of his demeanor, his style? He may not be the high-class scorer. He may not be the high-class assist guy, but he made it for what it was. He stuck and worked with the captaincy. He stuck and showed his assistant captain status, even though you knew that him and Chara at times were co-captains because they worked off each other and they basically made everything what needed to be done. The toxicity in the locker room stopped and was never existent. Whatever the hell is going on as a 15-year-old's playtime in a gym locker with the snapping of the towels and everything, if that be the case, sorry. If that's how they're coming about, that's childish. I would want better. That's why the Great Chase is more willing to talk about than the Boston Bruins. I don't have a thing for that, so like we're not gonna show like a stat thing. But let me tell you about Alex Ovechkin. He sits right now at 892 goals. 892. On Friday, he will enter the game with 2 goals to match, which is tie, Wayne Gretzky's record. He needs 3 to beat him. He has 7 games to go while chasing number 99. A lot of people, when Ovechkin came in, he was a young, gritty player. He's never won a champion. No, wait, he did win a championship cup, I believe. You don't look that up now. If it's late at night and I'm blanking. Yep, they won in they won in 2018. So Ovechkin was a part of that. So he is a champion. Okay, congratulations. We're at least on that. So Ovechkin is now going to solidify himself with not only a championship, but the most goals in the league. A record that when Wayne Gretzky did it, nobody thought he was going to create. Nobody thought anybody was going to catch up to him. You heard names like Sidney Crosby. You got Mitch Marner. Like Austin Matthews. You're hearing guys like that are supposed to be like all well-rounded, like guys that can actually like move and score. Connor McDavid. Ovechkin was known to be like this gritty, dirty areas guy that's basically going to make everything in the world happen. But the one thing you're not going to see is everything that's going to go forward. Wayne Gretzky was known as one of the greats. He still is. Okay. Ovechkin, he's got 892. Okay. Gretzky had 894. The record hasn't even been met. It hasn't even been close to anybody coming suit. And now, number 8 is making every push to be there. 3 goals, 7 games. Granted, anything happening, I could tell you the fact that whoever he scores that last goal off of, the goalie will be known for the tie, and the goalie will also be known solidifying him into being the better of. My money right now is going to be proud of Ovechkin, even though at a younger point, I basically made fun of him. Can't say anything really bad about it. But can I show to the fact my appreciation for what I do know? And I hate using that word. Alex Ovechkin has had a prime career. He's been with Washington the whole step of the way. He's doing exactly what Patrice Bergeron did. He's letting his game do the talking for who he is. He's not a fighter. He's not a complainer. He's not a moaner, a groaner, anything. He's been injured. He's been kicked down. He's been all around. But you know what he is? He's a legend in the making. 39 years old, and he is making headway to be exactly what he needs to be to a new generation of players. If you asked me when I first saw Alex Ovechkin, hey, Topher, do you believe this guy could actually beat Wayne Gretzky's record of the most goals? No. I don't think so. Wayne Gretzky was one of a kind. Connor McDavid might have that chance. I don't see Ovechkin doing it. Ovechkin's making a hell of a push. Now he's knocking on the door. He is steps away. No lube, no nothing. Just no nonsense, gritty hockey and wanting to score. Alex Ovechkin, from us to you, bravo. I'm hoping that you hit it. I'm hoping you make those numbers. And gosh darn it, make us proud. The biggest thing, so we're going to switch sports, is the Red Sox. And I lost it. Oh, wait. There it is. Would you wear this? To anybody who's probably listening to Spotify, for like the following day or anything like that, look up City Connect Red Sox jersey. I'm still trying to figure out if this is a mock, if this is something to where like this is not real. Trying to see if this was an April Fool's joke. I'm happy the Red Sox are starting to get out of a slump. I'm happy to the fact that they're starting to, make waves and do everything. I can't with this. This is really out there in what I'm looking at. I don't know how I would feel if the Red Sox took the field in that. It's a nice button down. It looks beautiful. What is that, velvet? It does have a velvety look. That's why, I really think to the fact that it may be fake. It looks like a cross reference between a Red Sox jersey and something you would find on the back of the Fenway wall, but also if you're sitting at a Celtics game, just the way the sleeves and everything fit. But also look at the E. Look at the top part of the E, how it's so paper thin, but the rest of the body is moist and meaty. Yes, I said the word moist. If there's 15 women that want to throw things at me later, because I know that's going to happen, that's fine. I said the word. Let's move along. I'm still trying to decipher if this is real or not. If it is, would anybody get one? I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would want to get one. I don't know if I would wear one. I mean, I'm wearing a Kelly's roast beef shirt right now, and I barely eat Kelly's. But you know something? It was a free shirt. Someone tossed it to me. It's a 2X. It fits. Probably till I wash it. But you know something? Nice gesture. Good to know. If somebody gave me one of those for free, I'd wear it. I don't know if I would go out and buy it. But besides the jerseys, nope, that ain't it. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's right too. I had to click it. Red Sox Nation, what are we doing? We're winning. That's what we're doing. I had a tab up for this. You could tell I'm a little bit off base. So the Red Sox for the day win 8-4. They are in the standings. They are tied for last place. The Blue Jays are 5-2. The Yankees are 4-2. The Rays are 4-2. The Red Sox and the Orioles are 3-4. The American League Central still looks like cheese of the butt variety. 2-4, with the Twins being 2-5. Good God, that is horrible. The White Sox literally have a chance at the beginning of the year. They may not be the worst placed team. The National League is wow. The Braves, who just signed Alex Verdugo, mind you, 0-7 to start the year. The Rockies, 1-5. Those are the two worst records. Oh, the Nationals. I'm sorry. The Nationals are 1-5. Those are the three worst records right now in Major League Baseball. So again, the White Sox have an utmost chance to turn it around for the year. So proud of them. But yes, the Red Sox winning 8-4. Hooray! I believe it was Alex Bregman, Tristan Casas, and I know there was somebody else. It might have been Campbell. But they did hit some dinghies. There were a lot of dongs going off that I'm trying to find like where I could actually find it. See, it says see more, and it's like, see more what? See more butts? Let me see if this is one thing. Okay, Bregman home run. They're going through the angles. Ta-da. Cedric Mullins with the leadoff homer. Correa. Okay, Campbell's 2-run homer. There we go. So it would make perfect sense. Casas, Campbell, Whitlock seals it for the win. But yeah, that's what you're looking at for the Red Sox. I'm just thankful for the fact that they're swinging around. Devers, yes, got a hit. It brings his total up to 3. He's still batting 1 something. I think it's like 111 or 113. 111. There we go. And he's got 2 RBIs. Listen, I understand everybody wants to have this as a breakout moment, so to speak. I'm still not seeing to the fact that like he's gonna have those moments of ooh, look at me hit, ooh, look at me go, ooh. If it comes in the middle of the year and he's hitting like twice a game, he's hitting 3 times a game, he's going red hot and everything, but he's not striking out profusely, yeah, maybe I'll believe it. You know, but this is new life in here. And the beauty part is I even posted it. It was a great friggin' moment for everything that I was looking at. It is Christian Campbell. 8 years, $60 million. That's an extension. That's good. Because here's the better part. You signed this man for 8 years and 60 mil. Do you have to go through arbitration? No. Are you basically going to pay him for being a player? Yes. Is he one of the top studs to start your year off? Yes. Are you showing him the money? Yes. Is it a great sign? Yes. Would Rod Tillwell be happy? Yep, he would. Because Jerry just showed him the money. What's also the benefit of, like, you know, hey, let's go to Garrett Crochet. 6 years, 170 mil. The deal goes from the 26 to the 31 season. You have an opt-out before the 2030. That's great. So it becomes basically a 4-year if that be the case. He loses the money, but what's the difference? You're 25 now? You're 29, 30, 31? You just basically hit that breaking point. There's a lot of pitchers that the minute they hit 30, they turn into someone else. And I'll tell you the 2 things they turn into. A tub of goo or Greg Maddux. Some hit that middle form where, you know, you just ride the pine for what it is. I believe it's Luis Castillo is basically where you max out at. But there were guys that, yeah, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine. To think of like anybody else, Kurt Schilling as he got older. I know not a lot of people would want to hear that. Pedro Martinez. There's another one. Andy Pettitte. I always did respect Andy Pettitte, so I'm putting him on the list. Roy Halladay. He's another one. Cole Hamels. Zach Greinke. The minute they hit 30, all of a sudden it was like another cylinder clicked. And they became dominant. They became the pitchers you needed. Max Scherzer did the same thing. Justin Verlander. You hit 30, and it wasn't about how fast your ball goes. Chris Sale is doing it now in his mid-30s. Where people said, especially when he was on the Red Sox, washed up. Hell, Cy Young winner? Whoa! Don't tell me like this is crapola. Because what does it do? Guides you, makes you strong, but you're going to be either that breakout player or you're going to be the crap player. Why do I have a Sox Nation thing on here? Because everybody's getting together, whether you're hating, loving, otherwise. It's good moments, good calls. But it's still too young in the season. Where do I go? Let me give you a breakdown of sports in my world. This is the Topher breakdown for the years. Okay? When you hit the first of the year, one of the things that everybody says is, oh, it's about that time. It's like it's not there yet. Okay? You have another month until you're basically getting into like the end of football. Okay? You've carried yourself to where throughout the cold months, you've watched football, you've watched hockey, you've watched basketball. You've gotten yourself in that straightforward motion where everything becomes, oh my God, I've got to watch this. I've got to watch this. But how do you break down what's important? Well, between basketball and hockey, those are the turn points at the first of the year. You can start focusing on them, but you still have a little bit of more time where you get those 4 more weeks in for football. You're watching playoffs. You're watching everybody mold. You're watching everything happen. You're watching what would be the playoffs or the Super Bowl unfold in front of your eyes, with the Pro Bowl being just like a pioneerous crap. You watch the Super Bowl. I'm done. I'm free till next year. But then there's always the offsite chatter, the stuff about free agencies, the draft, the everything else that comes up. Wait, March Madness. It's almost playoff time for hockey, for basketball, everything else. What do I got to do? My new focus. Click, boom, in, ta-da. What does that do for everybody else? Well, to me, it brings forward what are the Bruins doing, how are they doing it, and where are they going to end up? This year, somebody laid a crystal fart because they are blowing everybody's nostrils up high. Okay? Not something you want. They're out. Who cares? They've got 7 games. Let them finish them. If somebody wants to, like that person said, if somebody wants to finish those games and actually watch them and go, hey, there's some good moments and good props, and I thought it was a really good game. Sad and sucks that they lost. Good. Be that team player. Me? I got the Celtics to look forward to. I got a couple games within the Sox to see how they're actually melding within that first month. Does anybody care about April baseball? No. Still too cold. You're going to get whiners. You're going to get rambunctious. You got the guys who are just sore from spring training, who just don't get it. They just don't roll it in yet. And then just something happens mid-April during May. It clicks. And what happens? Basketball's all done. or you're still watching it because your team is deep in the playoff. Hockey, well, for us, it's already done. But are we looking to see who the next Stanley Cup winner is? Oh, you bet your sweet ass we are. But no matter what, there's something about that sweet spot in April, May. It kicks. It gives a different feel. That carries you right to the trade deadline. It carries you right in the motion until you get to that point where it's October baseball. What does September do? August, September kicks you in. The football's back. Play your preseason games. That's okay. It's only on a Sunday. I'm all right with it. Oh, wait. There's a Red Sox game on because they're still going strong. There's my focus. Football in the background, that's great. 1 game, 2 games. Red Sox is still playing. October. And then again, of course, when you get to October, what do you got? You got the Bruins starting up, you got the Celtics starting up. Where does your loyalty lie? I love the teams, but I will not watch that first month because most of the time, it's fluff. It's fluff. Who cares? It's happening. It's going. There's nothing exciting. You want to see something exciting? I'll show you something exciting. I clicked on this twice. Here it is. Okay? This would basically put you in excitement.
Wait a sec. This game is on cable. Here.
Sure, I'll throw it and get razzed. Here, Henry,
This kid's going to be razzed.
Okay.
He was in the mix for Riz in 93.
Oh my God.
Emerson Lazio is sitting in there having a hot dog and staring.
Did you see that?
Somebody just threw a frozen rope from the bleachers to home plate. That's got to be 430.
Wait a sec.
Yeah. That's great shit. And yes, I will say it. John Candy or his counterpart, that is Emerson Lazio from DraftKings sitting there with a glizzy in his hand going, what the fuck? That's the first time I swore today. Wow. Who knew? But those moments, that's how I am at the start of a season or at the end of the season. I understand the fact that like everybody starts slow. They're going to make it. They're going to do all the stuff. They're going to make a break like for everything that's going on. It's going to be a day. No, it really isn't. I could tell you why. A lot of the times, again, what is so exciting about the beginning of the year? Those first 2 games, that fresh grass, take it in, take that new season smell. Like, you just broke open a pair of Nikes and you're thinking, man, I'm going to be like Jordan, and you put them on, hit the court, sprain your ankle. Oh man, these are going to be like my power shoes. You're walking and someone steps right on them. They're not white anymore. You ruined it. They ruined it. So I don't get hyped for the beginning of the year. What am I hyped for? The meat. Appetizers are great. They're supposed to tide you over, to have those conversations. Those lovely, hey, do you think the Red Sox have it this year? Do you think they'll go anywhere? Hey, do you think the Bruins are actually going to hold their muster this year? Do you think Swayman's going to basically break down? Hey, do you think the Celtics will three-peat? Someone pay Pat Riley, because I said it. Or do you think to the fact that they're going to carry themselves again? Do you think anybody's going to be traded before the beginning of the year? That's my gusto. Why do I have to hear that crap? I don't. But I'll talk about it. I'll state my piece, state my presence. Get really excited to the fact that one big game, game one of the new season. Let me watch. Let me get into it. And then you got people that were like jokingly like, oh, hey, the Red Sox won game one. 162-0 is on the table. And then they lost. Rafael Devers went 0 for 16. I have my sayings, I have my everything, but you know something? Talk to me mid-April. Mid-April, May, I'm looking at the teams. June, July, trade deadline. You're basically bringing into like what would be good for a trade, what would be good to like actually bring it in. You start getting those GM feels. Now, am I saying to the fact that I am a GM, a couch GM, or in this case, I'm a keyboard warrior GM? No. Why? Because if they do it, great. If they don't, understandable. Can I state my piece upon like what I would like to happen? Sure. But am I going to go punch like poor Scott in the back room because I got pissed because someone wasn't traded? No. Am I going to make a big deal at the water cooler? Hey, Bob, you realize this sucks? Why? Why? I'll tell you why. This guy did not get traded last night. Well, dude, I can understand if you had your parking space taken. I can understand that, like, Debbie turned you down the other day for a date, but it's like, dude, I'd be more devastated that Debbie turning me down. Bitch. But so what? My dream and aspiration. I don't get paid for that stuff. I mean, yeah. Who doesn't want to go out with Debbie? It's a hot piece. You don't say no to someone like that. They say no to you. It's disappointing. Sad. Nobody wants that. So what happens? Walk away. Can't do nothing. It's ownership. It's a bummer. But what's the break though of it? Where's the gusto? There is none. Because there's some people that just get really wound up for what you're looking at and what you're watching. Well, what does it do? Nothing. It doesn't do anything for anybody. So what? You see in a game at the beginning of the year. And then at the trade deadline, because you had all these things, there are people that'll mark down like things and calendars and what to move. And, I can understand if you're sports betting, like, this is what I wanted and this is who I was hoping for. And then you don't get it. Cool. Don't get bent out of shape over it. I've seen people that like, you ever see the videos? Guys that follow their college teams and their college teams because, like, they think, it's Joey Walker's like last game of the season. He's going to win a championship and he loses. Guy throws a chair through his TV, knocks over the snacks. Tommy's sitting there like freaking eating the pretzels off the ground because he doesn't want them to go bad. But the guy picks up something and puts it through a table, knocks Tommy out. Now he's spitting up pretzels. Okay, he's got a concussion, and he's still throwing things out the door to where his wife kicks him out. Ambulance almost runs him over because they're there for Tommy. There's a lot of bad things that basically happen. You don't have to be that. Okay, you lost. Bummer. Sport. I love them. You love them. Some have more passion than others. But it brings me back to like that person who made the comment about enjoying the game. There are some people that's all they want to do. Some people don't even watch the game in a sports bar or otherwise because they know some schmuck bag is going to get really like lopsided, thinking, oh, well, you know, they should have kept Bergeron for another year. I think Patrice would have been great. And the defense. You're right. Patrice would have been better on the defense. Who thinks that? How sheets of the wind are you? Well, why did you have to ridicule this person? Because, man, you know, it's a game. I had fun, right? Yeah. What do you mean you had fun? Well, I went out with a friend, watched a game, bummed they lost, but had a couple beers and some good conversation. So to me, it was fun. Oh, I lost. Sucks. I ain't going to blame you. Yeah. Sucks. Lost. Roar. Listen. Don't get mad at people just because like they outlandish with like a lot of things. So what? Person basically thought the game was good. They wanted to do like a little bit more with it. And they were happy with the outcome. They weren't pleased with it, but they could accept it and they were happy with it because, let's put it this way, if anybody found positives out of the Bruins game, hang around with those people. Because the person who made the comment here, I would want to hang out with. Because those are the true fans. It makes a huge difference when you're listening to something and the first thing that you hear, oh, the game was great. I mean, yeah, they lost, but man, you should have seen the saves and the grit and the game time. Yeah, of course they lost. They didn't have like those shots in the second period. It felt like they were just falling flat on their face. This could also be a coaching issue. A true coaching issue. Because we all know it wasn't money. I wanted the proof, and I got the proof. Okay? Go back a couple episodes, and I'll tell you, like, I wanted to really truthfully wonder and understand. Was it money? You know? All signs and everything pointed to Monty. I was on that train. I got to apologize to all of you because I was on the Monty train of get him out of here. Now Monty's going to the playoffs. St. Louis looking good. You know, though, that makes St. Louis one thing. Very smart. Because not only did they take in a coach like Montgomery, but they extended him for not peanuts, for good money. Now, Neely's all about paying people. But I've noticed one of the skimpy lords is within Don Sweeney. Did he undervalue what Montgomery was? Montgomery got wind of it. He wasn't happy about it. He might have also not been happy to the fact that, like, they're picking up scraps on the free agent wire when the fact that they could be going for decent players. What are you locking up? What are you controlling? What are you doing? These could have been easy questions and targets for everything going on. Why? Because that was Monty. He was vocal. That's why I actually thought it was his demise. He was too vocal. People didn't like it. But I also thought to the fact that the way he handled that, like the Marshawn hit at the end of the playoffs, was not a proper thing. I still say to the fact, if you want to be that vocalist, I'm messaging the wife, honey, I'm going to owe some money. Pop the refs, point to them, make them the center of the attention, make them well known that this was not okay. This was not what you were supposed to do. This was not playoff hockey. My teammate was destroyed. Everything and a half. You would have had your team right there with you. You balked. That's why I wasn't a fan of Monty. I'm glad to the fact that he's kicking off with the Blues. But even in Dallas, he was not a playoff record-winning coach. And at times I get it. You go to the playoffs. You do everything in your power to get to the playoffs. The playoffs are right there. And you do nothing. Nothing. You take a steaming crap. Who knows I was talking about the Patriots today? The only thing I'll say bad about the Patriots right now, Joey Milton. He's going to the Cowboys. Now, this was interesting. And I've been reading some chatter. I've been reading a couple things. Is it realistic? Depends on who you talk to. Is it possible? Again, depends on who you talk to. Depends on what type of people you listen to. Now, Joe Milton being traded to the Cowboys. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm kind of excited for this. Because it gives a new dynamic style player to back up Dak Prescott. Is Dak Prescott already a high-profile player? Yes. He's one of the top-paid quarterbacks in the league. He's been a regular season dynamo for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been everything that you've ever wanted from Dallas. It's both why Jerry Jones made him paid. That's why everything and a half is why he's carrying himself to where he got paid. But what about now? I always use this euphemism because it's the greatest thing. Like if you're actually talking sports, I want to see what happens in 2 years. Because a lot can happen in 2 years. I said it about Rafael Devers possibly being traded, possibly having his annual average cut down, or them eating the salary for like a lot of if they have to trade him. But 2 years is a good tool to digress. Okay. It's a digestive piece. You can take it in, you can adjust it, you can look at it, and you could say, hey, this works. We don't need to do this. Hey, this is not working. We need to fine tune this. Dak Prescott, I want to take a look at him really quick because there's a reason. Dak Prescott is 31 years of age. I don't even think he's been to a Super Bowl. Hasn't played in a Super Bowl, and the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since '95, which was their last NFC championship game. So you've gone through the Drew Bledsoes, the Tony Romos, and now the Dak Prescotts. Now you've got the Joe Milton. Does that put pressure on someone like Dak? in my eyes, yes. If Joe Milton is going to be a sub-level quarterback that you can get on the cheap, like a Brock Purdy, do you need a Dak Prescott? No. Can you eliminate Dak and build around a mediocre quarterback? Yeah. I mean, Brock Purdy is still one of those guys that, like, you want to see what he's got. Perfect offensive line. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Oh, wait, he doesn't have those anymore. You mean to tell me he might be a regular? Is he going to be a real boy? It's possible. Same thing with Joe Milton. You could give him a great line. You could give him CeeDee Lamb, which is more than what anybody had like in New England. But you've got some tight ends. You've got some wide receivers. You got is Tony Pollard still in Dallas? Pretty sure he is. Nope, he's Tennessee. Shit. Nope. Well, be that as it may, when you're looking at those stats and like you're looking at everything between running backs and you're looking at like everything like where it goes off the beaten path now with Joe Milton and Dak Prescott. Can I sign Milton to a short-term deal? Take 2 years out of him, get rid of Dak, which has been rumored to the fact that he may go over to the Browns. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, well, the Browns. Well, what about Deshaun Watson? They will cut ties with Deshaun Watson once they find something that'll fit the system and work. Can Dak work in that system? Possibly. He'd be going the way of Amari Cooper when Amari Cooper left the Cowboys. Where did he go? He went right over to Cleveland. So what can that do, though? It means that Joe Milton would basically get a start for an NFC team and have a chance to prove his worth to see what he can do and how he can do it. I'm all for that. I am all for that. But like the comment I made in someone else's chat, what if the game that you were supposed to lose and the preseason game were all a fluke because you played third stringers? What happens when you go into first string defenses and you get pummeled and you get ridiculed and you get mauled? What also happens if you come out slinging and you look like a champion? Then the draft pick you basically got out of New England is superb. Considering the fact that New England sent Joe Milton over to the Cowboys along with a 7th round pick for, I believe they called it, I believe it was a contemporary, contemporary. I'm learning to speak today. Da, 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 da. Profile. a compensatory 5th round pick. So either which way, it's a 5th rounder. Joe Milton, 7th round pick, goes to the Cowboys. You move up in the 5th. Congratulations. Everything and a half. But did you have to? Do I feel to the fact you could have got something much, much better? Yeah. Is it done? Absolutely and sure. Give it 2 years. See where it goes. That's basically my answer for a lot of things. If you can give something 2 years and it grows and it looks like greatness, dude, you had it for what it was. Now, if you go 2 years and it looks like garbage, ooh, that's of course things you got to look at. So, is it something great? Something that, like, you can could take that moment, do everything you need to. Yeah. Is it something you're going to get right away? No. Is it something that you might have something in the future? Yeah. So put it up in there. You sent it over. You've got a quarterback that you trust to the fact that, like, you feel to the fact is going to back up Drake May, is going to be a champion to Drake May and do everything that's needed to be done for Drake May. Do you feel good? Do you feel whole? Do you feel vindicated? If the answer is yes, then we don't have to have a conversation. Do I want to see how Joe Milton is going to play out? Yes. Do I have a feeling he's going to play out amazingly in Dallas in a Jerry Jones system? Yeah. But do I think Dak is going to be there in another 2 years? He's going to be 33. He's basically going the way of the hamster. He's also going the way of Russell Wilson, where the desperate of desperates want him. How horrible is that? The only person that wants you is the Giants. Ah. Good thoughts. Good thoughts, good moments, good everything in between. It's almost bringing up to the hour and a half mark. I will state to the fact that, like, I'm very on board with, like, a lot of things. And we'll just have to see how everything plays out. Now, can we hope for, like, things a little bit better? Sure. But we'll just have to see how everything goes. Till then, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go to bed. But hopefully, to the fact that everybody listens on Spotify, everybody tunes into the redo of the vlog here on YouTube. We have been Small State Big. No, we are not Small State Big Network. We're a part of them, though. We are Boston Concessions. Look at me, already screwing up. Woo! Again, but we are Boston Concessions. I'm your host, Topher. We are part of SSBN, Small State Big Network. Boys down in Rhode Island, we are part of their little crew. And I love representing them as much as I do. So hopefully everybody enjoyed the cast. Please go out, have fun, do your due diligence this weekend. I will be back Sunday night, and be prepared. WrestleMania weekend. It is coming up. WrestleMania Saturday, April 19th, and Sunday, April 20th. We will be live right after April 20th. I believe we're going to go on about 11:30, so it might be closer to the end of, before midnight. We will give postcard reactions. We will be going through everything in a half. It'll be our one-on-one with each other. There's a possibility that I could have some strange guests, a round table, and holy crap, the background may be different. There's always those little things that you got to look forward to. But until then, that is a couple weeks away. We have so much to go into. Bruins out. Ovechkin scoring goals. We've got the Celtics getting ready for the playoffs. Looking good, boys. And we'll talk about the Red Sox more because the season is still pumping. But until those times, sleep well or enjoy your wonderful days, nights, whatever, when you're listening to us. This is Boston Concessions with an ASMR treat. Good night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. And above all else, enjoy your day. And I'll take this as a movie quote. Don't have a good day. Have a great day. See ya!